Her husband's last wish, a heartbreaking story of love and loss. The hospital room smelled of antiseptic and regret. Sunlight streamed through the window, casting long shadows that danced across the pale face of Liam, lying frail in the bed. His eyes, once full of laughter, were now clouded with pain and a quiet acceptance. He knew his time was short. Across from him, Sarah held his hand, her knuckles white, her heart a shattered mosaic of love and grief. They had been together for 20 years, a lifetime of shared dreams, whispered secrets, and unwavering support. Now, their fairy tale was ending, and all that remained were unspoken words and a last, heartbreaking wish. "Promise me," Liam whispered, his voice raspy and weak. "Promise me you'll live." It wasn't a simple request. It was a burden, a challenge, a testament to the depth of their love. How could she promise to live, to find joy, when her soulmate was slipping away? How could she navigate a world that suddenly felt empty and meaningless? As the silence stretched between them, Sarah knew that fulfilling Liam's last wish would be the hardest thing she'd ever do. What did the future behold? Sarah and Liam's story was a classic romance, a chance encounter that blossomed into a deep and enduring love. They met in college, drawn together by their shared passion for music, their quirky sense of humor, and their unwavering belief in the power of dreams. Liam was a gifted musician, a talented guitarist with a voice that could melt hearts. Sarah was his biggest fan, his muse, and the inspiration behind his most beautiful songs. She worked as a teacher, nurturing young minds and instilling in them a love of learning. Together, they built a life filled with love, laughter, and music. They traveled the world, exploring new cultures and creating unforgettable memories. They bought a small cottage by the sea, where they spent their evenings watching the sunset and listening to the waves crash against the shore. They faced their share of challenges, as all couples do. They struggled with financial difficulties, career setbacks, and the inevitable strains of everyday life. But through it all, their love for each other remained strong, a constant source of comfort and support. They had always planned to have children, but fate had other plans. Sarah struggled with infertility, undergoing countless treatments and enduring the emotional roller coaster of hope and disappointment. Eventually, they decided to accept their childless state, focusing on their love for each other and the many blessings they did have. 5 years ago, Liam was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. The news was devastating, shattering their idyllic world. They vowed to fight the disease together, facing each day with courage and optimism. Sarah became Liam's caregiver, dedicating her life to his comfort and well-being. She researched treatments, scheduled appointments, and administered medications. She nursed him through countless bouts of pain and nausea, never wavering in her love and support. Liam, despite his suffering, remained strong and positive. He continued to write music, finding solace in his art. He cherished every moment with Sarah, making each day count. As Liam's condition worsened, he began to talk about his fears for Sarah's future. He worried about her being alone, about her ability to cope with his loss. He knew that Sarah was strong, but he also knew that she was deeply dependent on him. He feared that she would lose her way without him, that she would succumb to grief and despair. One afternoon, while Sarah was reading to him, Liam interrupted her, his voice urgent. "Sarah," he said, "I need you to promise me something." Sarah looked at him, her heart pounding with apprehension. She knew that whatever he was about to ask would be difficult, perhaps even impossible. "What is it, Liam?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Promise me you'll live," he said, his eyes pleading. "Promise me you won't give up on life when I'm gone." Sarah was stunned. She couldn't imagine a world without Liam. The thought of living without him filled her with dread and despair. "I can't promise that, Liam," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I don't know how to live without you." "You have to try, Sarah," Liam insisted. "You have so much to offer the world. You're kind, compassionate, and talented. You can't let my death destroy you." He reached for her hand, squeezing it tightly. "Promise me, Sarah," he repeated. "Promise me you'll live." Sarah looked into his eyes, seeing the love, the fear, and the desperate hope that burned within him. She knew that she couldn't refuse his last wish. "I promise, Liam," she said, her voice choked with emotion. "I promise I'll try." Liam smiled, a faint glimmer of peace in his eyes. "Thank you, Sarah," he whispered. "That's all I needed to hear." Liam's death left Sarah shattered. The world seemed to fade, muted in gray tones, devoid of joy and meaning. The cottage by the sea, once a haven of love and laughter, now felt like a tomb, filled with the echoes of his absence. She retreated into herself, isolating herself from friends and family. She stopped teaching, unable to face the bright, eager faces of her students. She spent her days wandering through the empty rooms of the cottage, clinging to memories of Liam. She replayed their favorite songs, read their favorite books, and looked at old photographs, reliving their shared moments. But the memories only intensified her grief, reminding her of all that she had lost. She struggled to fulfill her promise to Liam. Living felt like a betrayal, a denial of her grief. How could she find joy? How could she embrace life when her soulmate was gone? Her friends and family tried to reach out to her, offering comfort and support. But Sarah pushed them away, unable to connect with their well-meaning platitudes. She felt like no one understood the depth of her pain, the immensity of her loss. One day, while sorting through Liam's belongings, Sarah discovered a hidden journal filled with his thoughts and feelings about his illness and his love for her. As she read his words, she gained a new understanding of his fears and his hopes for her future. She realized that he hadn't wanted her to simply survive. He had wanted her to thrive, to find happiness and fulfillment in her own right. His words inspired her to take action, to honor his memory by living her life to the fullest. She decided to start small, taking baby steps towards healing and recovery. She began to volunteer at a local hospice, offering comfort and support to other patients and their families. She found solace in helping others, realizing that she could still make a difference in the world, even in her grief. She reconnected with her passion for music by joining a community choir. Singing with others brought her a sense of joy and connection, reminding her of the power of music to heal and inspire. She started to spend more time outdoors, walking along the beach, breathing in the fresh sea air, and appreciating the beauty of nature. She found solace in the rhythm of the ocean, the constant ebb and flow of life. She began to reconnect with her friends and family, sharing her grief and allowing them to support her. She realized that she wasn't alone, that she had a network of loving people who cared about her and wanted to help her heal. Slowly, gradually, Sarah began to emerge from the darkness of her grief. She started to see glimmers of hope, to feel moments of joy, to embrace the possibility of a future without Liam. On the anniversary of Liam's death, Sarah decided to return to the small cottage by the sea. She wanted to spend the day honoring his memory, reflecting on their love, and celebrating his life. She invited her closest friends and family to join her, creating a memorial service filled with music, laughter, and tears. They shared stories about Liam, reminiscing about his kindness, his humor, and his unwavering spirit. Sarah stood before the group, her voice trembling with emotion. She spoke about her love for Liam, her grief over his loss, and her struggle to fulfill his last wish. She confessed that she had initially felt overwhelmed, unable to imagine a future without him. But she had come to realize that Liam's love was still with her, guiding her and inspiring her to live her life to the fullest. She announced that she had decided to return to teaching, sharing her passion for learning with a new generation of students. She said that she wanted to honor Liam's memory by making a positive impact on the world. As she spoke, a rainbow appeared in the sky, arching over the cottage by the sea. The sight was breathtaking, a symbol of hope and renewal. Sarah felt a sense of peace wash over her. She knew that Liam was with her, smiling down on her, proud of the progress she had made. Suddenly, a young man approached her, carrying a guitar. He introduced himself as David, a musician who had been inspired by Liam's music. He said that he had heard about Liam's death and wanted to pay tribute to his legacy. He asked if he could play a song, one of Liam's most beautiful compositions. Sarah nodded, her heart filled with gratitude. David began to play, his voice echoing across the beach, filling the air with Liam's music. As she listened to the song, Sarah closed her eyes, allowing the music to transport her back to happier times. She remembered dancing with Liam on the beach, their laughter mingling with the sound of the waves. She felt his presence beside her, his arm around her, his love enveloping her. She knew that he was still with her, in her heart, in her memories, and in the music that they had shared. When the song ended, Sarah opened her eyes, her face radiant with joy. She knew that she had finally fulfilled Liam's last wish. She was living her life to the fullest, honoring his memory and embracing the possibility of a future filled with love and happiness. Sarah returned to teaching, finding renewed purpose and fulfillment in her work. She inspired her students with her passion, her compassion, and her unwavering belief in their potential. She continued to volunteer at the hospice, offering comfort and support to those in need. She became a beacon of hope for others who were grieving, sharing her story and inspiring them to find strength in their losses. She formed a close friendship with David, the young musician who had played at Liam's memorial service. They shared a love of music, a passion for life, and a deep appreciation for the enduring power of love. They began to write songs together, their music reflecting their shared experiences of loss, healing, and hope. Their songs resonated with audiences around the world, inspiring countless people to overcome their challenges and embrace the beauty of life. Sarah never forgot Liam. His memory remained a constant presence in her life, inspiring her to live with purpose, passion, and unwavering love. She often visited his grave, sharing her joys and sorrows, her triumphs and failures. She knew that he was always with her, guiding her and supporting her from beyond the veil. Years passed, and Sarah's life continued to evolve. She published a book about her journey through grief, sharing her story with the world. Her book became a bestseller, inspiring countless readers to find hope and healing in their losses. She established a foundation in Liam's name, providing support for cancer research and hospice care. She used her platform to raise awareness about the importance of compassion, empathy, and the power of human connection. One day, while attending a music festival, Sarah met a kind and gentle man named Michael. He was a widower, a teacher, and a lover of music. They shared a deep connection, drawn together by their shared experiences of loss and their unwavering belief in the power of love. They fell in love, finding solace and companionship in each other's arms. They married in a small, intimate ceremony, surrounded by their friends and family. Sarah had found love again, a new chapter in her life, a testament to her resilience and her unwavering faith in the power of love. She often reflected on her journey from the depths of despair to the heights of joy. She realized that Liam's death, while heartbreaking, had ultimately transformed her life, leading her to a deeper understanding of herself, her values, and her purpose. She had fulfilled Liam's last wish, not by simply surviving, but by thriving, by finding happiness, and by making a positive impact on the world. She honored his memory by living her life to the fullest, by embracing love, by spreading kindness, and by inspiring others to do the same. As she looked out at the sunset, casting its golden glow across the sea, Sarah smiled. She knew that Liam was watching over her, proud of the woman she had become, grateful for the love they had shared, and confident that their love would continue to inspire generations to come. Their story, a heartbreaking tale of loss, had transformed into a testament to the enduring power of love, the resilience of the human spirit, and the unwavering hope for a brighter tomorrow.